Hey guys, I'm super excited for this video. In this video, we're going to review the tactical hiking stick, multifunctional tactical hiking stick from Prime Adventure. Let's check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin and this is Kemp Outside, where your inside source for all things outside. Well, today I am reviewing a hiking product. I'm taking a look at a hiking stick, and this isn't any hiking stick. This is a multifunctional tactical hiking stick from Prime Adventure. Full disclosure, Prime Adventure did send this to me in exchange for review, so I did not purchase it, but I'm gonna give you what I think about this. Let's get into it. So the first thing I wanna do is just open it up and see what it comes with. Right, and it's a nice box, right? But who cares about the box, right? So in here we've got a little introduction, how to use, little pamphlet. Also in the box is a rubber tip, and then the whole thing, guys, comes in a pouch. How cool is that, right? It's kind of got this camo look to it with some orange. It's got a belt loop on the back. It's got loops on the side where you could attach a strap and carry it crossbody or on your shoulder. So let's dig into this thing. Velcro. There's your strap. And then all the components, guys, come wrapped. So let's just pull them out, right? Here's one piece. And then we'll take a look at each one individually. All right. Let me get these unwrapped and then we'll take a look at them. All right, guys, so how this works is you take each section and you screw them together, but each section has its own tools. This is the bottom one. It has a glass breaker on the tip, but you can also put a cap on it, rubber cap. This also has tools inside it. So you unscrew this. Okay, and then what comes out are a couple of things. The first one is a screwdriver. Right, so you got a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver. It goes in there. Bingo, bango, you've got a screwdriver. Really cool. On the other end, you've got this little rod that screws into the tip. And what this is a ferrocerium rod for starting fires. Right? Pretty cool. So, we're going to put those back in, and we're going to build our walking stick with the next tool. Okay, guys, so I've been messing around with this just a little bit, and one of the things that I didn't like, right, from the start was that this would rattle with all the tools inside it, right? Well, guess what? It doesn't rattle anymore. What I did was, first of all, I put the rubber tip on the glass breaker to protect that. But what I did was, I left the ferrocerium rod screwed in at the bottom, right? And I just inserted it, right? So now it's not gonna rattle. And then the next thing I did was I left the screwdriver in up top, right? So what's gonna happen is when the next tool goes on top, right, it will just screw on, right? And it'll stay in there. Worst case scenario, if it comes out, it'll just be in this tube, right? So, you know, but that will hopefully keep it from rattling around in there. Let's take a look at the next tool. So I'm gonna set this one aside. So the next one, right, and you can really put these in any order, but this is the harpoon, right? And so these unscrew and you can store them, you know, down inside, you know, inside the pole if you want, right? But this is the harpoon. So it's got two sharp points and like a a serrated edge on each side. They're not sharp serrations, but they're probably really good for, you know, harpooning fish and that kind of thing. But basically what you do is you screw that in to the end of the pole there, and then you can put this on the end of your stick and you've got a harpoon. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna leave these attached just to see how it goes. I'm gonna screw this one into the bottom of the walking stick. All right, so here we go. Set that aside. Let's take a look at the next one. The next one is a spearhead, right? So it is decently sharp, not super sharp, but again, you know, if you're stabbing it as a spear, it's sharp enough. So we'll go ahead and screw that one on. Now again, you can either put these down in the pole itself or leave them attached like that. The next one we're going to go to is the tactical knife. All right, so the tactical knife has a cap opener. It has a serrated edge on the back that would function as a saw, and it has a knife blade. Now, this knife blade is not that sharp, right? I would seriously sharpen this before you're going to use it. I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't come with a nicer edge, but that is easily solvable with a knife sharpener. So there we go. That's on. And then the next tool is a straight edge blade with a saw, and then, you know, this tip. And I'm, you know, maybe you could pry something with that tip. I'm not exactly sure what that tip is for. Another bottle opener. But again, you know, a nice option if you need a blade like that. So we'll go ahead and screw that in. All right, and they screw together really nice. This is, I think it's aluminum, but it's really, really nice. All right, and then we have some basic, just extra tubes. And this is basically for adjusting height, right? If you aren't very tall, you may or may not use either one or both of these. I'm gonna go ahead and put both of them in. All right, and then at the top is the handle. And the handle is pretty nice. It unscrews, so again, this is just another segment, but on top is a compass and a piece of paracord lanyard. So we'll go ahead and make sure all this is together. So there we go, guys. There it is, right? From start to finish, all right? And, you know, it is not super light, all right? You're definitely going to know you've got some weight. These aren't as light as, like, let's say trekking poles, but it has a ton of functionality. So it's pretty cool, but let's go take a walk with it and see what we think. I don't exactly know how I'm gonna hold a camera and use a walking stick at the same time, but you know what? I have two hands. Kevin, you're a talented guy. I'm sure you can figure it out. Let's go for a walk. All right, guys. So, you know, every day I walk with my dogs in the morning, and I just do a few laps around the yard. I got 2 acres here at Camp Outside headquarters, and it's good for them to run because, you know, they're bird dogs. I've got a Vizsla and a wire-haired pointing Griffon, and they just need to go. So being able to get out and just walk around the property is pretty cool. And so that's what I'm doing today, and just using the walking stick here. And I gotta say, I really like it, right? I don't really feel the weight. Now, I might on a 10-mile hike, right? Or something like that, but at least just walking around, it's not that hard to just pick it up and swing it, right? And gives me another point of contact with the ground. Now, I mean, I'm walking in grass, guys, so it's not like I need it, but, you know, it's nice to have. And I gotta say, so let me stop here, let me just shake it, right? By leaving all the tools connected, it's quiet, right? It's not rattling around. So I really like that. Another thing I will say is on the compass, right? The compass works. It points north. I've spun it around a few times trying to confuse it, and it always points north. So that's good. So all in all, guys, I really, really like this. I think it's neat. It's like the Swiss Army knife of walking sticks, and that's probably not what I should call it because those are like brand names and stuff. But that's kind of how I think of it, right? It's a multi-tool in a walking stick. Now, I don't know that I would use all of the tools, right? And I think some of them might be a little redundant. Like, I don't know why I would need the harpoon if I have the spearhead, right? I think I would use the spearhead even if I was, spear fishing or, trying to harpoon fish, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure why both of those are in there, but I don't know, maybe I'll give it a try. Maybe if I'm out somewhere where I can harpoon something or gig something, maybe I can try to gigging frogs or something. I don't know. I like frog legs. They're pretty good. But maybe I'll give it a try. I don't know. I don't have anything planned to try and use it. I think this is really more for just preparedness, right? And there are other tools that you can get. You can get accessories and customize your walking stick the way you want. So in a minute, I'm going to go back inside and we will show you all the other accessories that you can get with this thing, and I'll give you my final thoughts. But so far, I really like this thing. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, we are back inside, and I gotta say, I really, really like this. There are a number of accessories that I mentioned before, so I'm just referring to my iPad off screen, but they have a T-handle that you can put on the end, right? And that T-handle can actually be used as a hammer and a nail breaker. But if you, need, to tee this off for some reason, you can definitely do that with the T-handle. They have a shovel attachment, and if you did the shovel and a T-handle, right, that would make a great paddle in case of emergency, which would be really cool. But the shovel head attachment looks pretty strong. Now, the shovel doesn't collapse, right? So you kind of have to deal with the shovel. Same thing with the axe attachment, right? It has an axe attachment, but you'd have to kind of carry the axe separately. But if you're doing this as part of, just like, setting up a base camp or something like that and wanted attachments for this, you could certainly do that. And it has a collapsible fishing rod accessory, which I find really, really interesting. Maybe I'll get that in the future to test that out, because you know how much I like to fish if you watch this channel. I don't think this would outperform some of my really fancy St. Croix and Toadfish Outfitters and Abu Garcia fishing rods and other fishing rods that I have. But, hey, in an emergency, if I don't have any of those fancy fishing rods, and there's always, if there's a body of water and I don't have a fishing rod, that's an emergency, guys. I mean, really. But, I might get that. I might try that out. That might be a cool addition to this. But bottom line, guys, it is a tad heavy. No doubt about it. The other thing that I would give feedback on is the knives need to be sharpened to a razor edge, right? If you're going to ship a knife, it needs to be fully sharpened. I want it to shave hair. I want it to cut paper. These knives don't do that, right? But they will. Before this thing goes on my first adventure, they will, because I'm gonna get them sharpened so they're ready to go. But I think that they should ship factory sharpened. As I said before, I'm a little confused about the redundancy of the harpoon versus the spear, but I can see the harpoon being used specifically to, harpoon fish and that kind of thing, used in the water, where the spear can be used for that purpose, but it can also be used for defense or spearing, land animals, those kind of things. So, you've got all of this space, all of this real estate, right? So why not have multiple tools? And, I really like that. There's some things I want to do. Like, I wouldn't mind trying out the saw, when I'm out in the field, because one of the things I do is I carry a Swiss Army knife, and I use the saw on the Swiss Army knife all the time to cut up, kindling for fire and that kind of thing. So the next time I'm out, I'm going to use this to cut some kindling with the saw, and I'm going to test that out to see how well that works. They feel like they would cut pretty well. but I'm gonna give that a try. And I wish I had an old car door around here or something, because I really want to test out that glass breaker. But I don't have anything I don't have any glass I can afford to break right now. So kind of a bummer. But I think that would be cool. But all in all, guys, I really, really like it. And it's definitely going to go in the Kemp bus, so that whenever I am hiking or walking or going anywhere where I think I want something like this, it'll be on hand. So let's break it down and put it away, right? Because that is obviously the last thing. So it's really, really simple. You just start unscrewing, right? And if you have your components, attached in the rod, be careful. So I'm just going to get everything unscrewed here to start. Right, I'm going to just set it aside, and then we're going to pack it up. So here's the first one you got to be careful with, right? So you may want to leave this fully assembled if you've got space, because this does take a little bit of time. Certainly wouldn't want to do this all the time. Okay, I'm going to put this down inside here. All right, so this is going to go in the first one, like that. I'm going to put this side in on this one, and then all the others, we've got to unscrew the tools and secure them. All right, so everything is in. Fold this flap down. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach this strap here. Okay, so there we go. All right, and that is going right in the Kemp bus, because I'm super excited about this, guys. So yeah, so that's my feedback, guys, is sharpen those knives to a factory edge, really sharp razor factory edge. And other than that, man, I really, really like it, man. It's really cool. Thanks, Prime Adventure, for sending it to me. I'm really, really excited to use it. You guys are going to see me out in the field with it when we're doing hiking videos. You're certainly going to see it. And then I'm going to put this through its paces when I'm out in the field, when I'm doing some camping trips and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and test this out just to test out some of the features. If I come across any glass that I can break, I'm going to go ahead and shoot a little short video where I use the glass breaker on this thing to test it out. And who knows, guys, one of the things I've been wanting to do is do some flounder gigging, right? So I might even take this thing out and test out some flounder gigging. I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. I don't have lights on my boat, so I've been thinking about doing a charter to go do flounder gigging, and I've also been thinking about doing a bow fishing charter and doing that. One of the problems is you do that at night, and I haven't figured out how to shoot video for that because it's dark. So that's kind of a bummer. But I don't know. I'm really interested in trying this stuff out and using it. So stay tuned for future videos, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe and ring that little bell icon that notifies you when I release new videos, so you won't miss anything as I put this through its paces as I go outside, because I'm super excited about it. So again, thanks Prime Adventure for sending it to me. If you could, guys, sharpen those blades, right? That would make this thing perfect. Other than that, guys, if you have any questions, drop some in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, or you can connect with me on my other social media. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X, or my website at kempoutside.com. Guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside. We're your inside source for all things outside. We exist to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. So you need good gear. When you're getting outside. Oh, something like this might be for you, right? This is definitely something that I would carry, especially if I'm in areas where I'm somewhat concerned about either four-legged predators or two-legged predators, right? It's just something that, you can swing this pretty hard. You could do some pretty good damage even if you don't have one of the tools exposed. But if you have one of the tools exposed, it's a formidable weapon, right? It's just another tool in the toolbox, guys, right? It's not the be-all, end-all of everything, right? I always say be prepared, and to be prepared, you need to be properly outfitted. If this is right for you, I'm going to put an affiliate link below. I'm now an affiliate for Prime Adventure, so if you want to check them out, go ahead and use the link below. If you do purchase something from them using my link, guys, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to support my channel. I get a little commission on sale. It's greatly appreciated. I think this thing is really cool. I can't wait to use it. Guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next time.